coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, wanting just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well on this fine morning. For those of you who commented that the audio settings on my video yesterday were too low, I fixed the issue. We fixed the glitch. Nothing like a good movie reference first thing in the morning. I want to pull up my Twitter. Let's see what we got in here. We got AVA. He was first. Good morning. Lemon Honey. Good morning. Lorianne. Yeah, I don't know how he did it. He cheats all the time, I think. We got Max Lab in here. Tammy. Good morning. Good morning. Joan. Good morning. Kathy. Karen. All right. We get some good people in here already in here giving their comments. I do appreciate it. It's been a good morning so far. I've already gotten a retweet from Ron Coleman. Ron Coleman, he was famously Trump's attorney for a couple cases there. Very nice guy. Sorry, I just was reading a message someone sent to me. But yeah, he's been on the show before. He now does his own podcast in addition to being an attorney. He's definitely a guy who I do like his legal analysis. He gives it very straight and to the point. Tells you what he's what he's doing. Let's see what's happening in the world. Is there anything you guys want to talk to? I'm not going to be on here long. I will be going over onto Georgie and Coop's show, and we're going to be talking about the Jeremy Shockett's motion that was filed yesterday. So we will be talking about that later on today when I'm on their show. So um, if you can't stick around this morning, go and watch it later on today. But I don't want to get into that this morning because I really want to talk with them about it. Um, and then I do have a video coming up. I I made a super chat in. There's a comedian out there, Kevin Brennan. He's been out there for a number of years. I was watching his show and I made a super chat where I was poking fun at his guest. And another channel, another podcast, uh, it got a reaction, and they then covered the comedian who was the guest. They covered his reaction, and it was it made me laugh. It made me laugh. Uh, so that was something that's happened. I'm gonna do a video about it. Funny thing, and I like all of the I like both podcasts that was involved. The one I was watching, obviously, I gave a super chat, but the other one, the one that covered it, I like their podcast too. What they do is and if you're interested, it's called Who Are These Podcasts? And what they do, they actually are stealing an old Opie and Anthony bit, but they listen to these other shows and then they talk about and critique them. And it's pretty interesting because they really do great analysis of these other shows. Like some shows are bringing nothing to the table. They literally have nothing. They'll have a topic, but they really don't have anything interesting. I might do that from time to time, and I'll give you an example. Like right now, I'm really interested in the whole thing with Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Taylor Swift, and Justin Baldoni. Uh, I've been watching that. Like I got my popcorn and I'm eating and watching that, and that is an absolute train wreck. And but it's showing the true colors of a lot of the people involved. Um, Ryan Reynolds has notoriously not been the nicest guy behind the scenes for years, but has cultivated this image. Same thing with Taylor Swift. Blake Lively, I don't think she has that type of image, but definitely Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, they're like these favorites, and they've done some really shitty things behind the scenes. Scarlett Johansson is Ryan Reynolds' ex-wife, and she tells the media, "Do not ask me any questions about him." She just doesn't want to talk about him, doesn't want to say anything bad, and I think I think if tempted, she would. That's why they don't want the temptation. And that's I do watch a website, crazy days and nights.net, and it's a lot of that like Hollywood rumors and stuff. And it's a lawyer who does that that channel, but they don't say who it is. They'll give you they'll give you they'll give you uh hints. Like when they talk about Meghan Markle, they'll say the illiterate actress turned family member because now she's a professional family member in the royal family. Um, and alliteration, obviously, Meghan Markle, two M's. So, oh, Megan Fox just dropped something here. Let me post this. Apparently, Politico was getting paid via U.S. aid. Let's read this, shall we? Staff at Politico did not get paid for the latest pay period. The company just sent several emails to employees saying it believes there was a technical error and is looking at how to fix the issue. Dear team, Goalie and I want to address this morning's payroll issue directly due to what we believe to be a technical error. Employees did not receive their paychecks as scheduled. We understand the urgency of this matter and sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. Our team is working diligently with our systems vendors and the bank to identify the root cause and implement a solution as quickly as possible. We will keep you updated as we learn more and work to resolve the problem as quickly as possible. Thank you for your patience and understanding. If you have any immediate concerns, please feel free to reach out directly. Yeah, it really does look like there was laundering going on with a lot of these things. Looks like there was laundering. Uh, and not paying your employees, yeah, that is a huge Department of Labor issue. So we'll go into the news and information. We'll see what's in here. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? I didn't see any comments about it. I'm willing to talk about anything. Yeah. Oh, everyone, if you didn't catch me last night, I was on Forever Huff's Living. They did a live stream. They invited me on. That was a lot of fun. They're a really nice, very sweet couple. Um, I did enjoy my conversation with them. We're helping them build their following. They already had a following. We're just helping them get it over the line. Uh, what else do we have? The Uncle Frank. That's one thing. The Uncle Frank Give Send Go. I did talk with Yoda yesterday. Um, they're getting everything in place for the Uncle Frank. Why is this? For the Uncle Frank uh, organization that they're creating. Toledo Center for the Arts will be located adjacent to the Stranahan Theater in South Toledo on the site of the former historic Masonic Temple. Oh, did they take that down? I'm from Toledo, and the Masonic Temple was huge, um, like a big venue. And I used to work across the street from it. I used to work for an Italian restaurant called Rosie's, and it was very good. They had two locations, one on the north side of town, this one was on the south side of town, and they had amazing. They called it Hot Mama's bread, and it was so good. It was just like this cheesy bread with all these different herbs, but it was really good. And you'd get that with dipping sauce. And I worked there, and then they did catering for the Masonic Temple, and they would uh, always offer to us, hey, we have this event, we need people for catering. And it was, unlike being a waiter, it was a set amount of money. So for me, I was always like, yeah, do I really want to, wait tables? And, sometimes good night, sometimes bad night. Uh, Normally, when there was a show, they would be good nights. So that's why a lot of people didn't want to take them. But I started doing all the shows that people didn't want to do. And like I remember I did the Chinese acrobats. I did who else? The Toledo Symphony did a couple things, and I would cater those. I would be the catering guy, like there, making sure that everything was taken care of. That there were spoons, forks. If people had questions about the food, dietary concerns, they could ask me. So I would do that and be backstage. And because I would do the events that no one else wanted to do, um, I would be offered the events that everyone wanted to do. So I got to meet a lot of really cool acts. I got to meet most of, um, uh, I didn't meet Paul Rogers, but I met most of Bad Company. I've seen Bad Company both with and without Paul Rogers, but I did get to meet the band, or most of them, I should say. I got to meet Jethro Tull. I did, and I gave it to my mom, and somewhere we have it. We've talked about we got to dig it out. I did the Righteous Brothers and Bill Medley, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but I do have their autographs. And Bill Medley's still alive, but the other one has since passed away. So that autograph is worth some money. And I've got it somewhere. In fact, when I had my old house, my living room was in a um, my living room was in a Las Vegas theme. So I collected a lot of things Las Vegas. Um, here, hold on. I'll be right back. I'll show you guys something. All right, I'll show you some things from my Las Vegas collection. So every time I go to Las Vegas, I get chips, dollar and $5 chips. Yeah, here's the El Cortez, the Flamingo, Aria, the D, Circus. So I collect chips. Like, and I know you're like, oh, that's a waste of money. Yeah, it could be, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's what, $5 that I get, and I save those because they do change those over time. And like, I've got in my um, in my collection, these are all chips I've gotten recently. You guys saw when I went to Vegas. I've gotten these recently. So I always do that. I always go to different casinos, get chips. And some I'll get new chips from the casinos I've been to and I keep them because they do change the chips. But I do have like the Tropicana, the Mirage. So and those are both recently closed. So those chips will now be worth more money. Uh, so here's a key card from the Rio. I saved the key cards. They changed those. Uh, the door hangers. This one is from the Excalibur. We went to Las Vegas for the first Formula One, and they had this in the hotel room. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely keeping that because it's tied to the Formula One. So it's not only Vegas history, it's Formula One history. So I keep a lot of that stuff because see everyone out here when they do their houses they do the desert themes and everyone does the same desert themes. They do Indian stuff, coyotes, rattlesnakes. But here Joshua trees are a big thing because we got all the Joshua trees. So I'm always on the lookout to see what type of things um, you know I could do. And I was like, I want a desert theme, but I don't want one that everybody does. Cowboys, ponies, you know, all the same stuff. And I wanted something different. And I was like, no one out here is doing a Las Vegas theme. So in my old home, my living room was all Las Vegas themed. And I'll tell you what I had was all the stars from Las Vegas. I had pictures of Jerry Lewis, Don Rickles, um, um, I'm trying to think. What was her name? Carrie Fisher's mom. Ah, uh, uh, I want to say Dorothy. What's her name? But I had all those stars, and I had Red Fox. People who are known for playing Vegas a lot. Obviously, I've got my Brat Pack, or not Rat Pack, uh, big poster. So all the stars of Vegas, I had all their stuff. And my brother wants me to start getting the mug shots of people who are tagged to Vegas, and I might do that. But yeah, so that's I, I had a Las Vegas themed room, and I will again. Um, I yeah, I will eventually like when I pick my forever home, that'll be a Las Vegas theme. Sorry, I'm just checking your guys. Some of your guys' comments do make me chuckle. Oh, I'm sure someone. Okay, yeah, there was a clip of Bruce saying on the Fleas last night that he was on the phone with Whatnot trying to get Jeremy shut down. I think he was being tongue in cheek, and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is gonna get him." Judges give lawyers a lot of leeway. If he says, "Well, I was just joking," now Jeremy can call Whatnot and find out if there actually was a phone call, and if there was, that was incredibly stupid by Bubbles, the attorney, who's really showing himself to be a shitty attorney. Like, I mean, just with yesterday's thing, I don't want to get into it because we're going to get into it with Georgie and Coop, but you have to be a really shitty attorney not to not file things in a timely manner. Just filing it, and with that of hey, we're gonna have our own expert. That's an easy one. And here's the thing: had he just emailed everybody and said, "Yeah, we're gonna have our own expert," and not filed appropriately, then he could say this was not what's it? This was not uh, a kosher deal. Oh my God, people are still on this. Hold on, I'm going to show this. So, this is another story I'm going to talk about. So, Howie Mandel apologizes for ambushing Bill Burr and Billy Corgan over alleged half brother drama. So, what this is about, Billy Corgan and Bill Burr, obviously, you can see they look very similar. Okay. And Billy Corgan's dad was a musician. And in the late 60s, he traveled around a bit and he was quite the philanderer. And apparently, from things I've read, he wasn't like the nicest guy. Kind of treated Billy horribly, but did encourage Billy musically. Uh, and he then became, the star of Smashing Pumpkins. Good morning, Brett. Brett and Mayor Therese are in the house. And so Billy Corgan had gone on to Howie Mandel show and talked about how they were similar looking, and how Billy Corgan's stepmom seems to think that Bill Burr is one of the children that Billy Corgan's dad had sired out of wedlock while he was traveling around the country. Here and then they Howie Mandel had Bill Burr on, and then surprisingly brought Billy Corgan in to try to get the bottom of this. And Bill Burr played along with it, but here's what you people need to know: it's a bit. It is a bit. Uh, Bill Burr, while there's only like 1 year difference, Bill Burr was raised by his dad. Like his dad was in the home. He's talked ad nauseum about his dad, about how abusive his dad was, but there was no mention of cheating or anything like that. And Bill Burr's brother is also a comedian, and he's made some comments about this. And all these people are buying into it. It's a bit. It's a bit. It's it's just it's just for good podcast. That's all it is. Howie Mandel is smart for doing it because I'm sure he got a ton of views. Because I didn't even know Howie Mandel had a show until I saw the clip with Billy Corgan, but it makes sense. Um, but yeah, it's a bit. It was all put on. People are freaking out. People are still asking, "Are they brothers?" It's like, no, no, they're not. Uh, because Bill Burr even, he was playing along. He was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you named us the same name, both William." And it's like, yeah, if your wife cheated and got pregnant with another guy, would you allow that other guy to name the child that you're going to raise? So, yep. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Brett and Therese. Uh, I enjoy their banter as they go into thrift shops and talk about their stuff. Uh, I do need to introduce Brett and Therese to the Huffs. You know, we're all veterans. The Huffs, live in Mississippi, but they live right near the Panhandle. So they both kind of used to Southern living, and they both take RVs and go around and do a lot of travel. Um, so that could be some good discourse right there. Um, but I really enjoyed having Larry on because him being a retired Blackhawk helicopter pilot was really, yeah, we definitely do, we definitely do. Uh, just because they both do travel adventures, you know. But yeah, listening to Larry talk about the Blackhawk helicopter crash and what he knew about it was very interesting. I've done safety investigations. I've never done an aviation because I'm not a pilot and I don't have that background. But I do know people who do, I've worked with them. I've done investigations with them, and I really do find those aviation investigations interesting. The the um, the people who in the media who talk about these plane crashes, they always immediately jump to conclusions as to what the things are. And when it comes to an airplane crash, there is so many things that go into it. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, that's the Huffs right there. Good channel. Uh, they they have 850 people following them on YouTube. So we got to get them another 150, get them over 1,000 so they can monetize. But they actually had more people watching us on Rumble, which is good because Rumble is monetized, so they're already making money. But yeah, like people come to a lot of conclusions about airline disasters. And the thing is, there's so many things, so many variables that have to be taken into account. Uh, like, I'll, you know, the now I'm going to piss off the conspiracy theories because people like to think that JFK Jr. is alive. And the fact that he flew into the ocean, they're like, that can't happen. No, it can. It absolutely can. I believe it's called spatial disorder. So there's liquid in your ears that maintain your equilibrium, and when those get off is when you generally get vertigo. But that's when it suddenly gets off. Okay, if you spin yourself around, that liquid goes all over the place, and you lose your equilibrium. That's how you get dizzy. But if you do it slowly and you start leaning yourself, water always finds its natural its natural level. We used to say that in construction all the time. So if you do it slowly, your body doesn't notice. It's kind of like putting a frog into water and slowly make it boiling. That frog won't jump out, but if you throw them into boiling water, they'll jump out. Your body can only sense like a significant temperature, or bodies can only sense a significant temperature uh, changes. And spatial disorientation, yeah, and it's the same with the liquid in your ears. So if you're flying like this and you don't have enough hours, and you can't use VFR, visual flight rules, so you have to do IFR, instrumental flight rules, and you're not paying attention to your horizon, and it's dipped like this, you will think that you're flying perfectly plain, but yet you're flying like this, and it happens in all directions. And that's what happened to JFK Jr. And people just don't believe it, but it's a real thing, and there's many cases of it. Um, so yeah, when it comes to these flights and their investigations, there's Brett, I have a sport pilot license. If you lose visual of the horizon, you don't know which way is up. Absolutely, yeah. I've never had the need to want to fly a lot or to become a pilot. I know they were trying to recruit me when I was at the basic school for the Marine Corps. They were like, "Do you want to be a pilot?" I'm like, "No." Just never had that. Never had that need. Some guys do, and good on them. Just wasn't for me. But I do know, based upon all my discussions with many people, that yeah, that absolutely happens. Can someone put AVA's link in? AVA, he's been battling his VA. And if you could just go watch some of his videos, we're trying to get his watch time up so that he can be monetized. He is I can't see how many followers he's got right now. He's in the chat this morning. I think he's getting his coffee because I haven't seen any comments from him. Oh, there's the Huffs. So the Huffs, you see Madame Mayer's Adventures, that's Brett and Therese. Uh, we got to get you guys into a stream together because you guys both do RV stuff. You both do travel adventures. Um, yeah, I think that'll be fun. But yeah, it people don't know. And I've me having these discussions with with aircraft safety investigators, it was very eye opening. And it also changed the way I did my ground safety investigations. I became much more open to, okay, what other type of things uh, can, you know, could have caused this. And that's my problem with a lot of police investigations is they get hyper focused on one or two things. Um, and I got a bunch of people trying to text me this morning. I'm on live. um, Window shopping right now. Got a new airsoft toy. You should do a video on it. Let us see. There's airsoft people out there. Yep, Brett says I can speak to RV stuff. And then we got Slug. Slug's just trying to derail us all. I got raided. Who'd I get raided by? Who is it? Is this a Slug raid? I'm looking to see. I don't see who's raiding our chat. Today is not a structured show. Now, later on today, me, Georgie, and Coop, we're going to go over the Attorney Shockett's response yesterday. I will talk about Bubbles last night. Here, let me see if I can get that audio of Bubbles saying that he's trying to interfere with Jeremy's whatnot. Let me see if I can pull that one up. I know I can. Minimize these. Where is? Just bear with me for a moment. I will. Bear with me. And I need a bear. I did add some new sounds to the thing here. If we want to have a Mexican party.
No.
Okay. So I've got Bubbles. I have to unmute this. Now, we do have to listen to a little bit of one of the leeches, and I know you guys just hate her voice. So we do have to bear with it. So I'm sorry. But here.
Being sold.
Oh yeah, you kidding me? I was just on the phone with Whatnot last night to make sure. No, I'm just kidding.
Now, right there's the problem. He says, "I'm just kidding." So I know a lot of people are like, "Bubbles is interfering." Now, if Jeremy goes and finds, talks to Whatnot, and he did call, yes, now we have interference. But this video, in and of itself, he says he's just kidding.
Is that why the Ohio case seems to have stalled?
Why would it have stalled?
Hold on. Because of the federal case.
Well, no, it's not really. There's no interplay there. The Ohio case is just waiting on a ruling for this long ago heard contempt motion based on the town hall incident, if I'm not mistaken. Who knows why it's taken. So it could be. I think it's possible that judge there is waiting for an affirmative motion to be filed by by Michelle's.
So, I mean, that would be really a long time waiting for a motion. And again, it would just be another one of her attorneys just stalling and delaying. I think the judges just taking their time with the case. Why? Couldn't tell you. Maybe to see if they would do something else.
Lawyers and John's lawyer to challenge the jurisdiction or something, but who knows? I wish it would be resolved one way or the other sooner.
They can try to challenge jurisdiction. Good luck with that, because we've already had the CPO. They've already had one contempt of court. If you're trying to challenge the jurisdiction now, the judge will be like, "Yeah, sorry, that's absolutely in this court's jurisdiction." If you wanted to make that argument, you should have made it many, many moons ago.
I wish it be resolved soon because it's being used as a weapon. It's you being used as an offensive weapon to terrorize them and to accuse them of.
They absolutely could ask for that to be rushed. They could. But here, I want to play the beginning of it.
And we'll see how that turns out.
Bruce, can you stop whatnot sales of items being sold?
Oh yeah, you kidding me? I was just on the phone with Whatnot last night to make sure. No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, he did say, "I'm just kidding," and judges will give lawyers lots and lots of leeway. So I'm not banking on that at all. Um, so yeah, I know people want to. I know they really want to, but yeah, I'm now if Jeremy finds out there was a call, and that I'm sure he could probably contact Whatnot and find that if there was a call from Bruce. Oh, then absolutely. Absolutely. Mike has promised a Latino review stream where he meets and reviews different Latino women. This is legally binding. I'm in. I'm in. Hey, I'm a single guy. So he has proof of the haters and I would say even their people. What he has to do is show that, look, these are people supporting her, and because of things they've done, have jumped in. I think it's more going to be used in the RICO case. I think they have more than enough that they can show. Um, I don't think they have to use this for the current federal case. They could, especially if Bruce did call. If they were able to find out that Bruce did call. Yeah, Bruce is. They're all very petty and pedantic. I will say that. So that's what was said, and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Bruce is done for." No, like even actually, I'm not going to get into it because I promised Georgie and Coop we would talk about it this morning, and I will. We'll I'll. You just have to wait half an hour, and you'll get my full opinion on what was filed yesterday. Um, a lot of people are saying it's defamation per se. Now, what that means is defamation on its face. When it's defamation on its face, uh, damages are assumed. And this was based off my video that went out yesterday. And yeah, if it's defamation per se, and I think the judge is leaning that way. I would say it's 60-40 in favor of the judge saying that's defamation per se, meaning all damages are assumed. They're assuming on counts 1 and 2. Yeah, Jeremy has been defamed and will be successful on that. The tortious interference are going to be, and the judge said it's going to be a high bar to claim. I think there's stuff out there that Jeremy can absolutely show. I think he can absolutely show. We've had screenshots of people saying, since you started talking about what Jeremy, uh, since this started with Jeremy and Lynette, I've unsubscribed from Jeremy. Like, that's damage. Whether you trust that person at their word of what they publicly stated, it's one thing. But there's other tortious interference. Not just they were all the haters were focused on the number of subscribers and the number of views he gets. That's only like one aspect, I'll say. So I would much rather be Jeremy in this case than I would Lynette. I'll say that. Jeremy has a lot of things going for him in that case. Lynette has a lot of things going against her, to include her own lawyer not filing things in a timely manner. Like, like seriously, you can't file stuff? Like, he could have filed, hey, we're gonna file this, but we need an extension. Like, before the deadline, he could have done that. And you know what the judge would have said? Okay, just get it in by this new date. But he's late, and asking for an extension. Like that, I don't care where you are. That never looks good without like a reason why you didn't get it in. And they were just like, oh yeah, we didn't get it filed. Like, okay, you didn't do your job. So, that's pretty funny. Oh God, I'm getting something texted to me. Oh my, that is cool. Yeah, AVA, you definitely need to do a video on that. That's cool looking. AVA does a lot of airsoft stuff, which I will not be at the office today. I do have a medical appointment I gotta be at, but just got an email that I'm like, okay, maybe. Shutterfly is giving me free stuff. What type of things I do? I do want to get a roll of stickers with the Veteran Nation logo. Just so if I just want to drop things in the mail, because I love the fourth wall. I love that they do a lot of stuff, but like for stickers, $5 shipping is a bit much. And I get that's where they make their money. They make their money in the shipping. Got it. I did listen to our song, Georgie. Are you playing that today? Couldn't file because my dog ate my paperwork. Look, that would be at least a reason. He didn't give any reason. Like, how bad of attorney do you have to be to not even give a reason? Oh, like that's bad. That's bad. We got 3 people watching on Rumble. No comments yet. In your opinion, how do you think the judge's ruling will be on? I will get into that when I'm on with Georgie and Coop. I will get into that. Trust me. I'm dying to. But we agreed we were going to go through it all together. And I wasn't even going to go live this morning, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to go, which I am. I am drinking the mug that I bought off of Georgie's merch store. So, ugh. And then my brain doesn't work that way. So I really enjoy this. I got the big one. I really do recommend this. So if you guys do go and buy from Georgie's merch store, she's inching up. We're gonna get her. We're gonna get her monetized. She's at 920 some subscribers now. So less than 80, and she can monetize. She's partially monetized right now. But with AVA, we got to get his watch time up. So just watch one of his videos. He just needs the watch time. Watch the live that we did the other day. Put it on in the background. I did get a lot of play on the one video I did the other day. Did you see this in the order of what the hell's case? I got 13,000 people that watched that. So thank you all. And then the one about could Jeremy show defamation damages that got 2,000. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching the videos. Okay, George is at 926. So less than 75. Let's see how many we can get her. Yeah, the Huffs need watch hours too. That's doing for those of you, because Daniel was also talking about his watch hours. Daniel's watch hours are through the roof, but he doesn't have the subs. He's got 220 subs. So he does mainly lives. When you do lives, you'll get the watch hours. Doing videos and shorts, those bring you in the subs. Lives are for community building, but it will absolutely drive that watch time up. Because you'll get people who watch you the whole time. You get some people that come in and go, but those people who sit there and watch you, they really do give you that watch time, and that's great. Yep, we got to get her up to 1,000. And then on Rumble, we've got Dwayne. And you know what? I'm going to drop back in the Give, Send, Go for Uncle Frank. We've already raised over $500. When I put 1,500 as a goal on that, which, why am I still sharing? I don't need to share anymore. When I put 1,500 as a goal, that was a very lofty goal. I would have been happy with just 200. But the fact that we got 500, I'm like, that, you got to think that they want to do a nonprofit. $500 to start up a nonprofit is really good. And I've been talking to them about when you do a nonprofit, um, you the hard part, everyone thinks, oh, you'll just get donations. People will donate to you once and then be done. You have to find other things to make money for that nonprofit. Merchandise is a great one. Um, you know, what they're looking to do with Uncle Frank, who used to take the kids fishing, I'm like, why don't you get those kids making fishing lures and stuff like that, and then sell those? Um, sell them through a merch store. You can sell, fishing hats and stuff like that. Um, because it all ties into your, it all ties into your to what your nonprofit is about. So it's linked things and things like that. People will keep coming back. That's why I really like our merch store, because while, I get people want to donate to my nonprofit, and I'm very thankful for it. VeteraNationFoundation.com. I would much rather people go buy a piece of merchandise. Buy yourself a t-shirt, buy some stickers, buy a hat, buy a bandana, because you're getting something out of it. And if it's something with our logo, you're definitely promoting us. So you're helping us in multiple ways, and we do get money back from it. Slug. What are we ever gonna do with Slug? I was watching Megan last night. I was not able to comment because I was driving to Boy Scouts, but I was listening and watching Megan. I was seeing Slug in the comments. Slug makes me laugh. Yep, right here's our link. Thank you, you guys. There's our link. Thank you, Coop. Yeah, please subscribe to the Huffs. The other thing we got to teach the Huffs, having people as their mods to be able to do stuff like this. Definitely want to do that. But yeah, that's selling the merch. And for me, for my nonprofit, we open the bank account, all the merch money goes right there. Like, I don't have to do any crazy accounting. I don't commingle funds. All the money in there is all foundation money. Like, I don't spend it for anything but the foundation. I have a separate debit card that I don't walk around with. It's kept in a place that when I do need to buy something for the foundation, I take that debit card and I buy it. I don't have to do any crazy accounting. So, Tug is having problems adjusting the low blood pressure medication. Yeah, I can see that. Like, I am very hyper vigilant. We have heart disease of my family, and I do have hypertension based upon all my years in the military. I've got high blood pressure, so I'm very hyper vigilant. I'm a ticking time bomb. I do know that. The men in my family have heart attacks. My grandfather died at 40 of a massive heart attack. My great grandfather died at 42. They both smoked a lot. So because of that, I don't smoke. My dad has never really smoked. My whole life, he's never smoked. When he was younger, he did. But he had a heart attack in his mid 50s. So it's a matter of time for me and my brothers. And the hypervigilance kills me. And I do know that I need to always be cognizant of my heart health. The good thing about my PTSD, when I was having really bad attacks, I was having chest pains. And, I was worried that I was going to have a heart attack. Now I found things that definitely calm me. I've done guided meditation, which, is pretty good. Um, but I'll tell you, I've talked about this many times. Spray paint art videos. If I want to relax, I'll watch people doing spray paint art, like either in their studio or on their thing, and it just puts me in a totally different zone. Just like everything just kind of goes away. And I'm not a guy who took naps for years. I could never take a nap. If I watch those, oh, I'll fall asleep. I will straight up fall asleep. And that's why I'm very thankful that I have had uh, PTSD, is because I've worked on it. Like I know, I was a little bit harder on another YouTuber who clearly has PTSD and is not trading it. But he was talking that he has things to decompress. Decompress is one thing. It's one part of it, but it's not the be all end all. Just because you can decompress doesn't mean you're not addressing the problems of your PTSD. I address mine. My dog, who is laying right there on my bed, you're a lazy dog, barely even moves her head to look at me. So when I got her, a lot of the stress that I was feeling day to day immediately went away because with my job and what I do, I have to be on the base. There are things on the base that absolutely uh, cause a reaction, a physical reaction. But once I got the dog, all that went away. I had her with me. She had my back. And it was like someone just turned a light switch. Now I can go around the base and I don't need her every day. Like I still take her when I go into the office and everything, but I don't need her. I can if I have to go on base and it's just gonna be a quick thing, I'll leave her here and I'll just go do my thing. No use in you know putting on her vest, putting on her leash, getting her in the cart. I don't have to do all that. But it took years of her being by my side for that. Uh, and now I don't want to say I don't need her because I do need her. There are times where I know, okay, this is going to be stressful. I'm going to take her with me. She will absolutely alert me if she needs to. But I do not have the symptoms that I used to have, at least not at the rate that I used to have them. Um, but that doesn't mean I'm cured. It's helped. You, when you have PTSD and things are triggering you, you have to keep pressing that nerve. You have to keep, especially when it's memory tied, you want to go to those places or do those things that cause those memories so that those memories are being replaced with new memories and you take back the control that you lost because it's a survival mechanism. Your brain recognizes that you're no longer in control, and that's what you need to do. uh, Taking medication. I have been prescribed medication for my PTSD. uh, I've tried two different ones. The first one did not do anything for me. The second one did. For those veterans out there and for anyone with PTSD, try the medication. It's not the solution, it's a part of the solution. Doing the grounding techniques where if I'm having an attack, I immediately think to memories that I have pre-planned and that I've written down. These are memories. Like I think about my grandfather being at his house. I think about him listening to the Detroit Tigers, Ernie Harwell on the radio, and him turning wrenches on his car, doing whatever he was doing. That is calming for me. And there's been days where if I'm having a severe attack, I will go through YouTube and I will find an old audio of an old Detroit Tigers game and close my eyes and I put myself back in that place and I think about the smells and it brings me back. It grounds me back to what it is. It brings all that um, all that stress, it takes it away and brings it down to a level where now I can manage it. I want to go on a food tour of Afghanistan so I can replace my memories. Absolutely. Absolutely, AVA. Yeah, AVA, when he came down here, he was like, whoa, this desert's giving me memories. AVA, you should consider taking a trip back down this way. It doesn't have to be here, but if you want to come here, you're more than welcome to. Bring the kids. You know, we can get the go-kart and the dirt bikes out. But yeah, yeah, all that stuff will calm you down. And that's why, you know, to bring it back to Jeremy, that's why Jeremy doing a lot of the things that he's doing is very, very healthy and very, very good. He's doing a lot of things that I know are helping him. But again, to say he hasn't been damaged, he's seeing a doctor. He has anxiety without a doubt. I can't diagnose him, like I can't say that he's got like generalized anxiety disorder or anything like that. I can't say that, but he does have anxiety, so he does have something. I'm seeing we're getting close to Georgie and Coop. Are you guys, Georgie, Coop? Are you guys going to have me pair? Let me know. But I am going to set this up so that it redirects, so that everyone can go right to Georgie and Coop. Oh wait, no, I was in the right spot. I was just in the wrong video. that helps. Helps to be in the right video. There we go. Redirect. I'll send everybody to Georgie's channel. Oh, it is not up. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna redirect everybody to Freedom Flock. So everyone's gonna go to TC's channel and watch the Freedom Flock when I end this. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'll figure out with Georgie and Coop. Okay, they do want me to pair. So I'm going to end this so that I can pair up and you guys can come right back in here if you want, or you can go on George's channel or Coop's, but we'll be out on all three. And this will take you in the meantime for the next 10 to 15 minutes to TC's, and I'm going to get me more coffee. So I appreciate all you guys for being here. This was a great discussion this morning, even though I had nothing planned, didn't even know I was going to go live. But I am glad that you're all here. And as always, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore, morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore, morning in America, want just a little more. Day Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awaking to lighten her load. America's awaking to lighten her load.